good to go. Oh, that's even better. You know what helps is when I turn on the microphone. Anywho, when I used to do radio stuff for my local college, well, it wasn't local. I guess when I moved there, it became local. But they said if you screw up on air, don't don't ever refer to it. Just keep on going. So there, real quick story. There was one time where I was brand new. Um, I was a senior in high school, and my school district had this policy. It was a nice policy. It was like a perk where if you attended high school in the local school district where the college was in town, you could attend classes there. I think it was two a semester, your senior year. So I did two in the fall and two in the spring. Um, they were easy ones like Sociology 101, English 101, just things to get a head start in college. Um, Anywho, being a student there, I was granted access to all the student perks, even though I was only 17 years old. Or eight, yeah, I think I was at the time I was 17. So I got involved in the campus radio station, and I was one of the youngest people there. That's fine. So here I am. I had my own show. It was playing industrial music. It's what they that was their format at the time for that time slot that was available. Fine, okay. So I was introduced to the world of um, industrial music, which is I enjoy it now. But so we had a big mixer board, like 40 channel mixing board. It was huge, overkill for what we had there, and three CD players. So you would play your song on one CD player, queue up your song on a different CD player, have it paused and ready to go, and your third one would be maybe the track bed you're going to talk over. Anywho, I ended up, and I would record my own show because I wanted to listen to it later and critique myself and everything. So this is back in the late 90s. So I remember one time, here I am, I'm playing something and recording my show at the same time. So what I did was I hit the play button from the track that I was recording, and let me tell you, that was an absolute terrible sound to play from the track you're recording. It was I'm sure it summoned all the aliens from far and wide, but of course you're not supposed to make any kind of reference to it, so that's fine. So what we're going to do is this is episode one of the BBS World Tour. My plan for this series is to um, visit various BBSs, take a look at them. We're going to look at some of the software they use, maybe some of the history if it's available, what they have, some features they have to offer. Nola Geek is in the chat. He is going to be, he is the sysop of the first BBS we're going to go into, Capital Shrill. Now, if I said your name wrong, please tell me. He says that he's at work and he might have to go do work things. It's inexcusable. I require you to take PTO time during this power hour. No, it's fine. So what we're going to do is let's get started. Go ahead with it. We'll dial in here. I've only connected to the main screen. I did not make an account yet, so we'll go ahead and do that. If anything is sensitive I have to enter, I'll just blank the screen out for a bit so you don't see my super secret password. All right, now he did mention that this is a customized Syntronet board. So we can see right now it looks customized, but we do see at the top that it is definitely running Syntronet software for Windows. I set up Syntronet once for Linux, and I'm not a Linux person. I can get by. I can host some things. I can install it. I can get a LAMP server up, but getting Syntronet to work on Linux was a little bit hard for me. All right, so let's go ahead. I like the custom ASCII or ANSI stuff. I know there's many programs out there you can use to. Hey guys, hey Retro Rarities, good to have you in the chat here today. I'm glad you're joining me for this first part of the tour. I believe Nola Geek mentioned that he first got the idea to start a BBS because he visited the website 16colors.com. Go ahead and head there after the stream, and if I remember, I was there a while ago. It is a place where you can do multiple things regarding ANSI color art. I believe there's artwork there you can look at, and I think there's a software package you can download. Am I right? Is it called 16 Colors? But what you can do is, oh, hold on. Someone's asking me if I can support a cause. Well, I'll take a look at the cause in a little bit. I do know one cause that Twitch is trying to get us streamers to focus on this month is mental health awareness. So I'll give a quick plug. I should put a little image thing up, and there's still time this month. The crisis text line is available in the U.S. It is also in Canada. I don't have their number on hand. I do know that the crisis text line in the U.S. is 741-741. You can text anytime, and you'll be paired up with a trained crisis counselor for anything from any kind of crisis you're involving, from suicidal tendencies to anything else. I actually volunteer for them every Wednesday from 10 to noon. I man the phone. It's not a phone line. I actually have a text interface. Crisis text line wants to appeal to a younger crowd that feels more comfortable texting about their issues than speaking to somebody. And I can understand that. So I have a Facebook Messenger style interface. It's not Facebook Messenger, but it looks like it. I have some chats in the bottom right-hand corner, and I can help those in need for a little bit, and then move on to the next one. So, I highly recommend sharing that number 741-741 with folks that you know. If you head to the website, they do mention the Canadian number. I know it's a brand new addition within the last month or two. Anywho, so Nola Geek says he ran a board in the 90s, came across this website in 14, and saw the NCR and BBS team was still alive. He got some stuff together. I saw some pictures on his website. He actually got together, he scrounged a Dell Optiplex and threw the BBS on it. And that's the beauty of this software, is that it can run on hardly anything. I had one running on a Raspberry Pi, actually a Pi Zero at that, which is only $5 now. I better log in before I get booted, right? There, here's the key. All right. Some more custom stuff. Login, new user, retrieve password, email the sysop. I like the mouse interaction. I don't think the original Syntronet, or the base Syntronet install, has that. Full name or alias. Let's try this. Location or group affiliation. Now let's try Pennsylvania. Birthday, sure. You guys can know when I'm born. It doesn't really do anything. My email, that's pretty accessible. I don't care if you email me. Forward personal mail. So far this looks some stock questions. I do like how the Y and N you can mouse with them. I'm not sure if you could mouse or arrow key with them originally, but I know that is it synchro? Is it really? Am I that out of touch? I appreciate the correction. Huh. I guess I never thought about it. That's correct. Good. I noticed that it looks like a lot of the intake questions from the original Synchronet have been changed. They're not changed, but shortened, and I like that. A lot of the things where do you have an ASCII terminal? Do you have ANSI color graphics? Yeah, I do. All right. Let's see. We know some of these quick tips already. All right, so here's some system stats. Looks like it's based out of Washington, D.C. I do like the header at the top with, I think, leave us the Lincoln Memorial. Uptime for 7 days, almost 8 days, not bad. So total of 320 users. Logins today, now I might have a little insight on this one. So logins today, 4,590. I would love to commend you for such an active board. However, I do know that running a BBS with an open telnet port invites unwanted traffic. So you get a lot of pings and hits to that port because people are looking for backdoors and bots are looking for ways to cause some troubles. Every time a connection is made to port 23, I believe that counts as a logon with this software. Am I right on that? Is that maybe you weren't aware of that. I don't know. I know that the Shocker over at Shadowworks, where I've been playing Lord, he mentioned that's been what's going on with it. And he showed me all the traffic that was going on there. A lot of messages on the board. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. How that logon thing? How long is that recording for? That's not just for the day, right? If that's for the day, then that's what's going on. But maybe that's for what? Since the uptime? Okay, so he's telling me that's actually total, and that makes perfect sense. That's how it's supposed to be. Good. A lot of people have time on. Look at that, 154,000 minutes since the inception of the board. It's great. There's some messages, emails, and feedback going on. I like it. I have an internet email address here at Capital Shrill, and it is, Look at that. I have my password. Enter a different password. I will. Now, hold on 1 second while I just kind of do that for a moment. Enter this password for verification. Sure. Make something simple. There we go. I know those send in the clear. It's nothing fancy. I just don't need people logging in while I'm on stream, right? Um, okay, so most BBSs had new user verification. There were no bots back then. There were no malicious programs trying to log into places. That's all nowadays. There was no CAPTCHA. There was nothing like that. But what sysops wanted was a little bit of personal interaction, kind of like streamers want with the stream. What they do is there were a couple major methods. One was to send an email to the sysop upon new user creation. The other one, based on the content of the board, was actual callback verification, where it used to be done. I remember, oh boy, correct me here. There were two ways I remember. One was automated, like the BBS would actually call you back and then connect to you, and that would kind of show that you were, I guess, real. I don't quite understand the reason behind that one. The other one was an actual voice call from the sysop, or someone appointed to do these kind of things. That usually meant if the site had some more adult content to it. So first of all, it says here, a new user, your access to some systems area may be restricted, but probably not until your message you're about to write has been reviewed by the sysop. So Geek says, yeah, there were some automated ones. Right. And he said the same thing, that you'd have to do actual manual voice, like talk to somebody. And even then, what are you proving? That your voice is deep enough to not be a 12-year-old? I mean, I don't know, I guess. All right. There's some suggestions on what he wants to include. What I like that the colors are easy on the eyes. They're easy to read. Sending an email. Hey, I can type, saw your board. Wow, really? On the BBS subreddit. Thanks for hosting it. All right, and let's see. I believe it's it says right here at the bottom. I don't know. It looks like he might have modified the editor a little bit, because I don't remember the menu options being at the bottom. But this is awesome. I can just do Control Z and save it. Where'd you hear about this BBS? On the BBS subreddit. How about that? Oh, nifty. This is new. Select an avatar, upload an avatar, download, edit, disable. Can I select one? Oh, Star Trek, yes, please. Are there other ones? There's 13 avatars in the Star Trek collection. Oh, please. All right. The NXO1 Enterprise, top, the original Enterprise A, B, no bloody A, no bloody B. Ooh, a warp core. That appears to be the TNG warp core. Klingon Bird of Prey phaser, and what's this one right here? Klingon logo. Very nice. Definitely the warp core. I don't see an Intrepid class Voyager one though, so I'm gonna dock points for that. Really sorry. These are recently updated too. Oh, I see. Okay, so is this a package from Synchronet itself? Because I see Digital Man's in there, and I believe he is the author, right? It's a new feature, he says. Avatars will be used when viewing messages, even in networked message areas. Wow, that's pretty nice. In an effort to stay modern, but not overdo it. I think that's great. I like that. Maybe I'll come back and change my stuff later. All right, press Q to quit. Done that. there are there are 992 days left for the Trump apocalypse. I like that. All right. Oh, I missed that one. It's okay. Fast login. Yeah. Oh, there's a question mark, right? Oh, it's asking me a question. I thought the question mark meant I could hit the question mark and then get some other stuff. That's fine. Let's do no for fast login for now. I want to make sure I get the full experience. Love the ASCII or the ANSI art. You see me kind of like squinting back and looking at these to make sure I can get the full picture. All right. Looks like some messages. Oh, some BBS one-liners. I haven't seen those in a long time. Looks like I see some different people advertising their other boards here. That's how it would work. I do not wish to add a one-liner at this time. What's this one here? Some more one-liners. Oh, is this from other BBSs? Does this wall looks like it serves other boards? That's kind of clever, huh? Networked one-liners. So what you got? It's got username on the left, @ symbol, and then whoops, and then the BBS name on the right. So that's kind of cool there. All right. I'm not going to add anything here. I'm not that clever. Wait for it to load up. It's got to spin that Optiplex driver around a little bit. Maybe I'll push enter. Maybe I'll let it go for a second. What's happening? Do I type something? I'm like hesitant to push a button. You remember back in school, playing Oregon Trail on the Apple II GS, and the teacher would say, "Don't touch a key while the light is on the disk drive." Read bulletins. Okay, well, look at this. There's been a bullshit error with the bulletins. That's fine. Sysup's been notified. Didn't someone say, Nola Geek, one of the users on the subreddit said they had some issues, but here, so you see it in action. It's totally not meant to point out errors, but hey, you know what? If you don't know what's going wrong, you don't know how to fix it. So this is, hey, we can come back to that. You can figure that one out, I'm sure, right? It's nice that they list an actual path so you can find out what's missing or not missing. I really like this interface is really, really nice. So we got here the last few people that logged in. Customly done. It's got me. I see some people from it looks like East Coast a little bit. Someone's using the Amiga shell. Now, what's this what column? Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. So there's a code at the bottom. So it looks like, for example, Dr. Techno did some read messaging stuff and played some door games. So did Nologi, so did Zudia. What did I do? I have a new user because I'm N, so I'm blinking because that's probably a cool thing to have. And also H for hung up. Don't think I... Maybe, you know what? Maybe it did when it constituted my guest login becoming a real user. That's kind of cool. I like it. What else we got? I am number 392, number 321. Eh? All right, cool. Read your mail now? Sure, it's probably like a little welcome message. Look at this. It's a welcome message, maybe. Last. Oh, I didn't see a welcome message. It's okay. I'm not going to search groups for new messages like that. Okay, here we go. The main menu. I like it. Very patriotic. Got the White House on it. We saw there's somewhat of an active message area because there were quite a few messages listed on that main screen when I first logged in. Yeah, I know, right? No, looking is glad he's seeing this from a user side where some of the errors are. And you know, that's the thing. These were not meant to be one-time setup and then set it and forget it. It's, you know, you want to improve your board. You want to make sure things are running smoothly, and sometimes things happen. There's bit rot, you know, which is what unexplainable errors in code. Code worked yesterday, now doesn't today. You know, the gremlins. Let's look at some of these things. Let's check out. Let's see. So we saw the one-liners already, right? We saw them as soon as you logged in. We also let's check out these rumors. Capital Shrill rumors. Last 10 rumors. I don't get it. And one, Trump has baby hands. The fifth column approaches. BBS is making a comeback. Is this like more one-liners? I kind of like it. Let's see here. Since we're doing political things, let's go ahead and give a quote from one of my favorite flicks, The Hunt for Red October. Some things in here don't react well to bullets. Right? Let's see if that works. All right. Alrighty. Let's see. We think we know our settings will probably be the standard synchronet settings. So that's good. We know the slash commands. I've used some of them. /O logs off fast. /L shows you who's on the. Well, it used to show you who's on the node list. That one must have been disabled. That's fine. Control U? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. So it looks like some of the same menu options, like the letters you would hit to get to certain things, are still here. X for external programs, which are games, and you kind of have to spell that out for people. You know, what's funny is when I had Seth Abel Robinson on the show, author of Legend of the Red Dragon, he was logging into the BBS, and he's like, "How do I get to the doors?" And yes, it's X for external programs. Not every, I guess every external program can be considered a door, but I'm not sure if every game is a door, or every door is an external program. But because there are other things you can do on there, I believe some external programs used to be ways to connect to other BBSs. I know there was a way from like to you could actually kind of hop over to another one. All right, let's head. Let's see. Let's just explore a little bit before we head to the door. System menus. Oh, cool. Okay, so here's some stats on the board itself. The current version of the software that's being run, I believe 317A is the latest. I think. Running off Windows NT. All right, we're in Washington. We know that. So 4 lines, which back in the day would have been awesome. I do like how the network addresses are here. So if I remember, QWK mailing system was introduced by the Synchronet people. Was that because they wanted a simple way? So FidoNet at the time was the like the default, the best way to send messages to and from other BBSs, but it's kind of hard to join from what I gather. And QWK was not that difficult to join. In fact, once you install the software, it pretty much joins for you and gives you a little node on the network to exchange mail from. So super easy. I remember I was reading the wiki page about it. Some of these I have not heard of before, and I would love to find out more about them. AgoraNet, SFNet, CyberNet, and RetroNet, all having their own addresses here with ways to send messages from one system to another. And that was like a revolutionary thing. It was your BBS was in your area only, and it was financially beneficial, well, for the user to call to a local area code and a local exchange as well, because you wouldn't want to incur long distance charges for using one of these boards. So you're kind of in your own little bubble, and it'd be kind of fun sometimes to dial out to a different board that wasn't in your area, maybe for like a couple of minutes. There were ways to do it with calling cards. It wasn't easy, but you could do these, and it was kind of cool to be in someone else's territory. So once the option came to connect to other systems, even just with messages, that was awesome. You would get messages, not just email messages like to you, but in the messaging section in different boards, like forums, if you would, to see what's going on in other parts of the country. So these, how they would work, real quick of the history that I understand it, and I could be totally wrong. Your BBS would collect messages in a queue, and then every morning around 4 a.m. or so, you would start dialing out to certain areas and exchanging those packets with all those messages in them. You would send yours out, you would get others from other places. Think of it just like actual mail. You'd only get it at certain times, and it'd be a big clump. Why 4 a.m.? A couple reasons. Why? Start with two first. The first reason would be that it's cheaper. Long distance charges, typically they call it offshore hours, I believe, would be after 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. in some areas. You would incur less charges or cheaper rates. Yes, I'm still here. Cheaper rates while you are overnight. Second, not many people are on at 4 in the morning. So if you only have a 1-line BBS or 2-line BBS, you don't want to tie it up exchanging mail. I'm not sure how long it took to exchange a packet, like a FidoNet or a QWK packet. Could have been that long, really. Although I remember connecting at 2400 baud, so who knows? Nola Geek says that QWK was a way to download and read messages offline, and that's one. And I believe you're right. I believe the Synchronet was the first system to use this kind of thing to make it easy to join this kind of a network. So anyway, all right. We got some more things here. User lists, my stats, who's online, last callers. Look at my stats really quick. Look at me. I have 10 megs of credit. Sweet. Go find some where is. All right, back to the main menu. Let's see, settings, scores menu. Let's look at /s. Door scores. Anything good? Local games, BBS Link, Center of Awareness, Door Party. Okay, I like the Pac-Man stuff. So some of the games, like I said before, you'd play just amongst your own people. Then you would be able to play. Some games were network based with other systems. That's when we had more of an internet connectivity to our BBSs. I wasn't tech savvy enough back then to understand how that worked. How did it work? Does anyone, you folks know where you would run this? I remember back in the late 90s, you'd be able to log into a dial into a BBS, but then be able to access internet stuff. I'm sure there was some kind of way it was tied in where you could hit the IRC from there, or even hop to other BBSs from within there. I don't think you were dialing out because that would make no sense to charge the system out for you to dial out. Let's look at some of the local games. Got some good games. Look at this. I wonder if some of these things are piped in lunatics um, from other. I know some of the games that you play then pipe out their data to a DAT file or some kind of other file. Um, let's just see. Yeah, the Lord Player rankings. Boy, that's quite a experience built up there. I like this. I think this is just piped out from the text file from the DAT files, right? I like that. So Lunatics, I might play this one. It's kind of like a Legend of the Red Dragon reskin, if you would, where you're in a mental institution. So, and you're trying to look at the shadows and do all kinds of stuff like that. Give me 1 second. I don't like to be on my phone here. My kid's getting out of school soon. I always like to have him have a little text message to get on the bus and see. Because I told him you can't have your phone. Don't text me at school because then you're gonna get in trouble. All right, done. Only one player on Lunatics. I'll have to check that out. I haven't played that in a long time. I like seeing the scroll bar on the side. This is nice. Oh, IGM's on Legend of the Red Dragon. There's quite a few of them. So we have Barak's house there. That is the actual only IGM written by Seth Robinson himself, and the source code's available online. Pretty awesome to be able to see the code like that. Relieve yourself at the latrine, the warrior's graveyard, Alexis Tower, Back Alley Church, Werewolf 2, the Arena of the Lords, and Starport. Starport. Maybe I'll pop in. Oh, some more. Realm of Lore and the Arkham Asylum. New. New as in newly installed, or new as in newly programmed? Because I am itching to write an IGM. I just need some to find a kit or something. Newly installed. Yep. And hey, you know what? If there are issues, you do want to have those reported because sometimes they don't work, or sometimes they can cause trouble, like really overpower the game. Oh, things are unbalanced. What is this? Door Party. So I'll have to come back and check some of these things out. I see at the top right, bullshit version 3, but I also saw an error earlier from the same module. Is this like a package that you grabbed that had door servers? Okay, so I believe these are ones where you can connect to other places to play these games. If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of interesting. Check out the text files really quick. Wow. And this is the kind of stuff you would download too. There's some movie scripts in here, some queer resources, things that were important to the BBS community that was being served by this board. You would certainly have available for them to download. Let's see what else they got here. Vintage BBS logs from New Orleans and Detroit. Did you live in that area at the time? Is that something that was experienced by you? I'll wait for that answer. Let's head over to. You're from New Orleans. All right. Do you have a custom guru by chance? Did you customize the guru's stuff? Is the guru here? You took the guru away? Oh, come on. See, that was one of the best parts of this software was The Guru. I'll show you the Guru sometime. Um, it was an artificial chat bot that 14, 13-year-old me was kind of like, is this a real person or is it a bot? Because it makes spelling mistakes and corrects them. It types in real time. It it's interesting. You know what? We'll do a thing on that next time. Let's head back. What kind of external programs you got going on here? Um, this BBS game. BBS has games that are available on multiple game servers. You will see some games more than once. This is a feature, not a bug. Each game server has many more available in the game server's menu. Okay. Door server color key center. Okay, I see. Local door party exodus awareness BBS link. Lots of stuff here. You spent a lot of time on this. So this score menu is the same score menu from the front. All right. Local ones. What you got here? So things are kind of done. Looks like they're coded or coded grouped based on theme. I like it. Lord 4.08. BBS link Lord. So that's Lord with other people, right? Lunatics. All right. Pimp Wars. Well, I think the organization of the games is pretty well. I see you mentioning that in the chat, because the the initial way was to have, you saw that from Shadowworks, that it's just games, and then it's a big list of games, and you can control from the Synchronet config menu that you guys don't see. You can order them in any order you want. Um, so I guess that's one way of doing it. But then you just have multiple pages of games without. Oh, BBS Link Usurper. All right, hold on. We're checking it out. I'm getting a little bored with the Usurper on Shadowworks because no one else is playing it. List players. Oh, there's like what, 3 people here. It's okay. It's all right. There's a few people playing. Everyone's dead. I don't think anyone's really playing. Is there a news thing? Instructions. Yesterday's news. Is there today's news? I'll look at yesterday's news. No, I don't think people are playing. Eh, it's all right. Okay, fine. That's not your fault. It's just people not playing. You said there's a regular news menu. Where do I find that one at? What about general games? Food Fight 2004. Oh, in the game. Yeah, I gotcha. Star Trek games. Is that the same one, the Synchronet Star Wars one? I think it is. All right. Lots of stuff on here. I see some common ones that a lot of places had. Cannons and catapults is very, very common. All right, let's head back. So, oh no, escape to exit. See, it helps when you read the screen, right? Okay, I like it. We saw the chat area, the message area. I don't want to get too lost in it. Can I list the message areas? Jump to new sub or group. There's stuff in here. So these are the number of subboards. Musical net. Oh, retro gaming. I really like the colors. Things are easy to see. Things are not conflicting or contrasting. That it's good. I'm a fan. I like it. All right. Let's see what else we got. You sent me some information earlier. I want to make sure I touched on some stuff here. Let's see here. Yes, you did. You mentioned to me in the message that you ran a BBS in New Orleans in the 90s. It used to be World War IV. Is that how you pronounce it, base? I just want to make sure I'm doing that right, too. And, hold on a second. And you mentioned, too, that one of the things you liked about BBSing was the locality of it. is that one of the things that separated it from internet forums is that you got to know the people on the board, and that was important. What's the first thing you would do when you logged into the BBS? What me? I would check to see who was online. If it had multiple nodes, I'd like to interact with those people. Some I could do without. Some I wanted to know more. The chats were sometimes very heavily trafficked areas of the board, which is great. Some of the BBSs I would be involved in my area, they would have meetups once a month or so. One would meet at a McDonald's once a month. I remember in the summertime, one had a big party with about 50 to 100 people. I think it was from multiple BBSs, but you would put names to faces, um, names to logins. I guess would be really how to do it. I mean, you couldn't. It, it was very difficult to get a picture of somebody back then on the boards. So think of the steps you'd have to do in order to get a picture. Right now, it's easy. You take a picture with your phone, you send it. So back then it was like this. And when I say back then, I'm talking or, well, anytime in the BBS days, but up until the late 90s, you'd have to get an actual picture of yourself, like CVS or Rite Aid printed picture, and then somehow get that onto the computer. How would you do that? You have to scan it. Who had scanners back then? They were just starting to come out in the mid 90s for home use, and the one I had was like a handheld black and white scanner where you would put your image or your paper down, and it was only about yay wide. It wasn't as wide as a piece of paper, and you would have to load the software up, and it plugged in. It wasn't USB, I believe it was serial port connection, and you'd have to click the button on this open software, click the button on the side of the thing, and then drag the scanner down the picture slowly, because if you did it too fast, you get all wavy lines on it, and then you have your. It actually looked like if you looked at a copy machine, the bed of a copy machine, when you lift up the thing, it looked like that. Only you were manually moving the part that was capturing the image, and then you'd be able to send that to somebody. The other way would be to go to Kinko's or whatever it was called back then and have them scan it for you and put it on a floppy disk. I remember the local library had a scanner and you could scan your picture and send it. And then you had to find a way to actually send it to somebody. You could upload it onto the board. I think there was a way to do that. Otherwise, you'd have to actually paper mail, like snail mail it to somebody. That's how I got a couple pictures of people or exchange photos back then. That was the way to do it. You got to really know somebody first before knowing what they looked like, and that's a very lost thing nowadays. It's easy to find what people look like, and then you kind of to judge, and then it gives you a different impression of that person. So what else we got? Emails. I can send emails. Can I send threats to people using my capital Shrill BBS email? My email no work. That's fine. I can send mail, right? Email, username or number. I can send in messages. Do you mean squishy? No, I don't. Quit. That's fine. All right. Okay, so we can wrap it up. What we've got is a very nicely customized Synchronet BBS. The menu options are still there that would be available in a stock install, but the way they're presented has been highly modified. Right as soon as you log in, right at the main screen, you have arrow key functionality. You have a nice picture, like an actual picture graphics right away to invite you into the BBS. Otherwise, the traditional Synchronet install or login is functional. You know what you're doing, but right away the BBS is branded. As soon as you log in, the color schemes are easy to see, easy to understand. It has a theme. Most boards had a theme back then. Some themes were easier to identify than others. This one is certainly easy to identify, political based. It's hosted in Washington, D.C., and the menus that are constructed and drawn out fit that very, very well. I think it's great. It's clear you've put time into this. And it's clear you have active callers that call in and really enjoy doing that. So I want to thank you for setting the link off to me. And so you said here you're working on a new theme. That'd be great. You know what? Let me know when you got some stuff up. I'll be happy to log in and take a look at it and show it off. Your hard work should be appreciated and shown off because it's good stuff. So let's go ahead and just get off this one really quick here. Uh, Now, I'm gonna hit log off the slow way and see if there's a custom log off thing. Uh, do we want to add a final thought? I have 60 characters. My goodness, Twitter is a jump up here. No, I'm just kidding. 60 characters. Is that because the line length was only not much longer than that? So you don't want to line wrap, I guess. You have 60 characters. What a final thought? I'll just yeah, that's pretty lame. I know. It's okay. Anonymous? Nah. Log off? Yeah. I like it. He wants to thank some artists who contributed to some great answers to the BBS theme. So those guys there, I won't pronounce most. I can pronounce these names: Enzo, Zeus, H7, Weapon X, Skin, Tararis, Hellbeard. Also, bits by HP were lovingly borrowed. So very nice that these people contributed some of this. Call more boards. Look, the telnetbbsguide.com, bbsnexus.com, and then nice that you have the BBS subreddit in here. So it's nice. All the one-liners that are here, there were a few of them. There's one when you log in. There's some available from the main menu. There are some tacked onto the bottom of the main menu if you saw that. And then you can add some at the end. So it's nice. It adds a lot of options for the users to personalize their experience and leave their mark here on the board. So I'm a fan. I will log out. How about that? Nice. All right. So thanks. I think that was great. It's a really nice board. Not that I shouldn't say I feel bad. I feel somewhat bad that you're the first one on the list because I don't have like a pattern down yet of what all to talk about with them, and I don't want to shortchange your board. So as I go throughout the other ones I have planned on the tour, if I find things that I'm focusing on those other ones that I didn't focus on here, I'll be happy to log back in and we'll check it out and see what's going on. Um, I have a few minutes here. So this is the standard login for Synchronet. You can see it's functional. I mean, it tells me where I am, what I'm doing, stuff. But let's go ahead and we'll log in from here. This is completely stock. So something happened in Legend of the Red Dragon. Hey, you know what? Thanks for inviting me over. I appreciate that. Um, Something happened on Legend of the Red Dragon. I was alerted that I'm gonna show you right now. Something has happened. I was killed. The Red Dragon killed Tiki. Effin' Dragon has slain the Red Dragon. So somebody beat me to it. That's okay. That's alright. No worries, mate. I was hoping to be the first one. It doesn't always happen that way. That's okay. Um, but let's blow through some of these forest fights. I find a gem. I'll take a gem. Eh. Wishful thinking that the Jenny Gar thing would work. That's okay though. I guess you can get back to work now. All right. I try to play at work too, but being in the medical field, you can't always do that. I'd let you try though. All right. So I'm hoping to grab an. Gee, that was close. Mutated Black Widow. What kind of work do you do? I'm just curious. I forgot. I need to be careful. I'm not actually in level 11 territory anymore. The Mighty Shadow. I'm just checking some of these names out to make sure that I'm not going to get completely wrecked. Wizard of Darkness is good. Black Unicorn was good. I remember that. Folks I can get. Every so often I want to hit B, right? Because B is the quick way to deposit your money without having to go all the way out. Like it takes you half an hour. Oh man, all right. I'm trying to grab a fairy because I'm pretty sure that if I grab a fairy and then die to the red dragon, I'll get resurrected. And that's really what I need. See, now this Olivia thing, I don't want to be pleasured by her. What if I turn her down? Do I then get the option of... see, I'm hoping I get the option to ask her where I should go for that random encounter. Um, he mentions he does some support, some desktop support, and that she's remote desktoping home to look at these bugs. Yeah, I do enjoy. I remote desktop home from work as well. It's a nice feature. I'm glad it hasn't been blocked yet. I don't think they know anybody uh, uses it. Humongous black wire. Yeah, I think I can do that one. I'm looking for. I know it's yeah, Shocker. It's okay. Maybe it adds to the realism. Oh, I don't know. So I am going to be sending out. I know I've said it for the last like 4 days on our Discord channel, but I am going to be sending out the $15 to try to get a new Legend of the Red Dragon key, especially because we want to take a look at the new version because you can write IGMs a lot easier on it. Seth mentioned on the show that he wrote like a scripting language called Lady, which is made with the intention of making it easy for people to write IGMs. And I couldn't find documentation of it on. What am I doing? Documentation of it online. But the Doctor was looking at some of the files that came with the latest install of Lord, and it's all in there, and it looks super easy to do. I mean, I guess that's the intention of scripting languages is to be really easy to interface with and write. It's not really writing code, writing just script for, and it looks really easy. So I would love to be able to fiddle with that kind of stuff and bring you guys some kind of IGM. What's my money like? I need what? 35 million, right? 35 million to see now. This is uh, I like when your power move does nothing. Uh, when I get to the next tier of money available that I can upgrade my weapons or armor, do I want weapons or armor? Um, so okay, real quick too, I want to touch on this. Nola Geek says I've tried to get a reg code a bunch of times. They don't take online payments, and I got an automated message saying to send them a check. I did some digging. I found out who operates the site that owns the Red Dragon rights and sells the keys. I found a phone number with my Google foo and I called it. I didn't talk to this specific lady. I talked to folks that knew her. I did actually get a hold of someone else. So what I was told to do is, if you really wanted a key, send in the payment, uh, and on the front of the envelope, do attention Laura. It's the same address listed on the Gameport website and everything, but it's attention Laura, and she's the one that will help you out with that. She's the one I spoke to on the phone. I expressed my concern that I hear people have been sending in checks for keys and not getting them, and she was not happy with that. She seemed a little bit exacerbated at the fact that the person who's supposed to be taking care of this is not taking care of it. So I will. Oh yeah, so I got a fairy. I like it. I'm going to use that today. We're going to try to beat the red dragon. Whoa, the black unicorn hasn't hit me. Ooh, jeez. All right. That's the first time I think I've been hit by black unicorn. Wizard of Darkness. They sprinkle in these little ones that don't do anything for me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Go too fast. Thankfully, there's nothing too detrimental I can do here. That's the thing. I don't do paper checks either. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just send off a $15 money order. I assume that should cash just the same, right? It didn't say you had to send a check, did it? I mean, well, you said you got a message back saying a check, but I would rather send a money order because then that money won't be sitting unwithdrawn from my account. All right, we got it. Let's head back here. Let's go to the inn, talk to the bartender about gems, and let's sink it all into vitality. We know that. Let's listen to Seth sing magic. 2 more forest fights. That's okay. It's money. Let's go use. I think I need to keep one, don't I? F and Dragon said he needed to keep a forest fight, or he thought he did, so he'd be able to. Ah, not enough money yet. That's okay. Well, yeah, that's true. I, I do want to get the key. Now that I have a phone number that I can call, maybe if I send in the money and then don't get a key after a reasonable time, I can call and start being a little bit forceful, nasty. I don't know. All right, let's try it. Ready? Um, it's S. Search for the dragon. Attack the dragon. And I have 5 Death Knight usage skills. We need them all. Ooh, hits me for 1,000 damage. I almost got it. Didn't I? Almost got it. I can't scroll up. How much am I doing per move, though? I hit D. Ultra power move. Wait a minute. Yeah, no. Wait, did I do it? Oh, I did. I almost did, though. Look at that. Um, you hit the red dragon for 4,600. Yeah. Oh, wait. What's going to happen here? Oh, yes. Knowing that you're too weak to go on, you decide to release the fairy in your pocket. Heck yeah, I feel much better. Oh, I'll take it. And I have one Death Knight usage left. This is it. The world premiere. We have 5,000 viewers watching this. I'm going to hit the D key. I'm going to give the dragon the D. And what happens here? I hit that dragon for 4,000 G of damage. The earth shakes as the mighty beast falls. You have defeated the red dragon. Oh my goodness, we're gonna break the internet. This is bigger than Drake playing with Ninja on Fortnite. All right, so you have defeated the dragon and saved the town. Your stomach churns at the sight of stacks of clean white bones of small children. Thanks to you, the horror has ended. All right, this is a first of the BBS world, the first live streaming of the Red Dragon being beaten. There's an epilogue. All right, I'll read it. After your bloody duel with the huge dragon, your first impulse is to rip its head off and bring it down, bring it to town. Careful thought reveals that it's much too big for your horse, so that plan's moot. Your second notion is to bring back the children's bones. Bags and bags of them for proper burial, but you realize that would only cause the town's inhabitants more pain. You finally decide on the dragon's heart. After adding 10 years to your sword's life, you finally chip off enough scales to wallow in the huge beast's insides. When you're finished and fit the still heart in the gunny sack you brought, who would have thought this would be its use, you make your way back to town. As you share your story to the crowd of excited onlookers, this crowd becomes a gathering, and this gathering becomes an assemblage, and this assemblage becomes a multitude. This multitude nearly brings a mob, but thinking quick, you make a speech. I do? Do I have to give it? People, your voice booms. This is true. I have ridden this town of its curse, the Red Dragon, and this is its heart. You dump the bloody object onto the ground. From the back, Barak's voice is heard. How do we know where you got this thing? It looks like it's skinned a sheep. Like you skinned a sheep. A flicker of annoyance crosses your face. I didn't already kick your ass like every day on the IGM anyway. But you force a smile. Why, Barak? Would you doubt me? A level 12 warrior? Because I mean, I always go around letting people know my level. It's usually over 9,000 though. If I'm not mistaken, you are quite a bit lower. Still at level 2. Barak gives you no more trouble, and you are declared a hero by all. Violet drops her top. No, Violet tops off the evening by giving you a kiss on the cheek, and a whisper of things to come later that night makes you almost blush. Almost. Because I am a level 12 Yule perv. Thanks for being tough enough to win the game, and thanks your sister for registering, Seth Abel. Very cool. Very happy to beat that. So, some stuff happens though, because my quest is not over, so it's like New Game Plus, right? You are a hero. Bards will sing of your deeds, but that doesn't mean your life doesn't go on. Your character will now be reset, but you will keep a few things you have earned, like the following: all special skills, charm, and a few other things. Can we check? Apparently you have been sleeping. You dust yourself off and regain your bearings. You feel like a new person. So that's how they kind of keep the game going without kicking people out and resetting everything every time you win. So that's kind of cool. So what do I get? I do get 35 more fresh force fights, some gold, and I keep the gems I had on hand. So that's kind of cool. Let's I'm not going to play these out, but I can't talk to the bartender. Oh, that's a bummer. How much is the room? 400 gold. What do I got? Gems and charm. Okay, and I think that's all I keep. Oh, my Death Knight skills. So that's kind of nice. List players. Yeah, I maxed out my Death Knight stuff. Nice, I'll take it. So I can probably change my class then, right? And head over to the next class. So maybe I'll do that. But for today, that's going to be it. I'm going to go to the bank and deposit my monies, and I'm just going to sleep in the field. If you really want the 10% of my 10 experience points, you can take them. That's fine. Is that what I started out with? 10 bonus points? I'm cool with that. Let me grab a screenshot here of this. Right? Alt print screen. Cool. I'll put that on my on my overlay here. All right, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I like doing longer streams. Didn't always have the time, but it was nice getting to go to Capital Shrill. I really want to thank Nola Geek for hosting that and for being very involved in his board and having a lot of documentation. I saw you have a website as well, the same capitalshrill.com. There's some stuff on there. It talks about the history of the board. Have I played Lord on Black Flag? I have not. I'll check if I have Black Flag listed on my BBSs to come, but it'd be fun to take a look at a lot of the custom art on that. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. I'm going to play later on this evening. I'm going to play some Fortnite. It's not. I suck. Okay, I'm terrible. My kid he's 11 years old. He is exceptionally way better than I am. My girlfriend plays. She's way better than I am. I'm just along for the ride. Sometimes I make good kills, and it's honestly purely on accident. So um, I enjoy streaming it. It's kind of fun. I don't often do the face cam, but I do try to have the Discord in there. So if you follow, you'll be able to see the immediate alerts that I'm streaming. If not, check back to my page often because I do try to keep a schedule down at the bottom. I'm going to be updating it tonight with next week's schedule. I got my work schedule, so we can see what's going on. All right. So thank you again. You guys have a good day.